Hello.
Still walking?
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness, what a good.
Picture this for a second. It's July 2nd, 2026, and the WTA releases the official player field for the Mubadala City DC Open. Most fans glance at the announcement for only a few seconds. But hidden inside that list is something much bigger than a tournament entry. 5 names dominate the headline: Alina Svitolina, Marta Kostyuk, Naomi Osaka, Venus Williams, and right beside them, Alex Eala. One name instantly changes the conversation. A 21-year-old from the Philippines is no longer being introduced as a rising prospect. She's standing shoulder to shoulder with Grand Slam champions and global superstars in the tournament's own spotlight. That wasn't just another press release. It was a message. The tour itself was telling the tennis world that Alex Eala had arrived. But what almost nobody realized was that only days later, one painful defeat would make this tournament far more important than anyone expected. Because Washington isn't simply another stop on the calendar. It's the beginning of the next chapter. A chapter that could decide whether Alex Eala enters the US Open as one of the hottest players in women's tennis, or whether Wimbledon becomes remembered as a brilliant moment that faded too quickly. To understand why the stakes are so enormous, we have to go back just a few days. Wimbledon had already transformed Alex Eala's career. Every round she survived felt like another wall coming down. Millions of viewers who had barely known her name suddenly found themselves watching a fearless young player refusing to be intimidated by tennis royalty. Every match seemed to add another layer to her growing reputation. Confidence, composure, belief. The momentum was impossible to ignore. Then came the round of 16. Across the net stood Jasmine Paolini, one of the toughest competitors on tour. The match became exactly what everyone expected. Physical, emotional, relentless. Every game felt like a battle of endurance rather than simple tennis. Alex fought through long rallies, absorbed relentless pressure, and searched for answers against one of the smartest tactical players in the game. But despite everything she gave, it wasn't enough. When the final point ended, the scoreboard showed defeat. The cameras immediately found Alex. She tried to hide the emotion. She looked away. She fought to stay composed. But anyone watching could see exactly how much the loss hurt. Not because she had failed, because she had come close enough to imagine something even bigger. Many young players would have searched for excuses. The pressure, the nerves, the physical demands of playing deep into a Grand Slam. Maybe even an injury. Alex did none of that. Instead, she sat down in front of reporters with remarkable honesty. She praised her opponent. She admitted the match had been incredibly difficult. Most importantly, she accepted the result without hiding behind explanations. That response revealed something statistics never can. Great champions aren't defined only by victories. They're defined by how they respond when the dream temporarily slips away. But what happened after that press conference may prove even more important than anything that happened on center court. Alex announced she would step away from competition for 3 weeks. Some people interpreted it as a break. Others saw it as recovery. In reality, it was preparation. Because while fans were replaying highlights from Wimbledon, Alex and her team were already thinking about hard courts. They weren't looking backward. They were looking toward Washington. And here's where the story becomes even more fascinating. Just 3 days before losing to Paolini, Alex had produced one of the biggest victories of the entire tournament. The defending Wimbledon champion entered the match as the overwhelming favorite. Experts predicted another routine win. The crowd expected experience to overpower youth. Instead, they witnessed something unforgettable. Alex played fearless tennis from the opening point. She attacked returns. She trusted her forehand. She refused to back away during the biggest moments. When the opening set reached a tense tiebreak, the pressure should have favored the champion. It didn't. Alex stayed calm while everyone else expected nerves. She captured the tiebreak. Then she accelerated. What followed stunned center court. Instead of protecting her lead, she became even more aggressive. Winners came from every angle. Her movement looked effortless. Every confident swing seemed to send another message to the tennis world. The defending champion simply couldn't stop her. When the match ended, nobody was talking about an upset anymore. They were talking about a breakthrough. Suddenly, analysts weren't asking whether Alex belonged among the elite. They were asking how high she could climb. And that's exactly the version of Alex arriving in Washington. Not a qualifier hoping for a lucky draw. Not a wild card receiving a generous invitation. Not an underdog hoping to surprise someone. She arrives as a direct entrant carrying one of the biggest victories of the season, fresh off her deepest Grand Slam run, with expectations higher than they have ever been before. But here's the twist. Instead of receiving an easier path after Wimbledon, Alex is walking into perhaps the toughest hard-court field she has ever faced. The Washington draw isn't forgiving. It's loaded. Top-ranked stars fill almost every section. Grand Slam champions are scattered throughout the bracket. Former world number ones are looking for momentum before the US Open. Experienced veterans want one more statement. Rising stars are chasing the same rankings Alex is trying to reach. There are no comfortable opening rounds. No guaranteed victories. No room to slowly settle into the tournament. Every match feels like it belongs in the second week of a slam. And somewhere inside that dangerous draw sits a familiar name. Jasmine Paolini. The very player who ended Alex's Wimbledon dream. At first glance, it's just another possible matchup. But the deeper you look, the more fascinating it becomes. Grass rewarded Paolini's experience. Hard courts tell a completely different story. Alex has always looked more natural on this surface. Her aggressive baseline game, quick footwork, and fearless shot-making become even more dangerous when the ball bounces higher and rallies develop differently. Which raises a question almost everyone is quietly asking. If fate brings them together again, will history repeat itself? Or will Washington become the place where Alex finishes the story Wimbledon started? The possibility of that rematch is only one reason why Washington feels so important. The real opportunity goes far beyond revenge. It sits on the ranking table, waiting for Alex to seize it. Here's the number that changes everything: 0. Alex Eala isn't defending a single ranking point during the North American hardcourt swing. Washington, Montreal, Cincinnati, even the US Open. Every match she wins adds to her total without the pressure of protecting previous results. In professional tennis, that kind of freedom is incredibly rare. While many of her rivals are desperately trying to hold onto points earned last season, Alex has nothing to lose and everything to gain. That changes the psychology of every match. Players defending points often step onto the court carrying invisible pressure. One early loss can send their ranking tumbling. Every mistake feels heavier. Every defeat costs something. Alex walks into Washington carrying the exact opposite mindset. Every victory is progress. Every round is another step forward. Every upset pushes her closer to another career milestone. And while the rankings create one battle, something even more emotional will unfold inside the stadium. Rock Creek Park isn't just another tournament venue. By late July, the heat becomes relentless. Temperatures climb well into the 90s. The humidity hangs over every court, draining energy from even the fittest athletes. Long rallies become physical tests. Recovery between points suddenly matters as much as powerful ground strokes. But Alex won't be facing those conditions alone. The Filipino community has already transformed nearly every tournament she's played this season. What started as a few flags in the stands has become something much bigger. Families travel across states. Young tennis players wear Philippine colors. Homemade signs fill practice courts before matches even begin. Every winner she hits is followed by chants that echo around the stadium. For many fans, Alex isn't simply representing herself anymore. She's carrying the hopes of an entire generation that has waited decades to see a Filipino player compete among the sport's biggest names. That support creates an atmosphere few players experience. Opponents hear it. Commentators notice it. Tournament organizers recognize it. And perhaps most importantly, Alex feels it. That emotional connection has become one of the defining stories of her rise. But what makes this moment remarkable isn't only the crowd. It's how quickly everything has happened. Think about the timeline. Just months ago, Alex was still fighting to convince people she belonged among the elite. Then came the Miami Open, where she shocked the tennis world with a stunning run to the semifinals. Many people dismissed it as a magical week. Then came Berlin, where she proved the performance wasn't an accident. Then came Wimbledon, a run to the fourth round. A career-defining upset, global headlines, millions of new fans. And now, almost immediately afterward, she's preparing for another WTA 500 event where expectations are even higher. That's an incredible amount of growth compressed into just a few months. Most professionals spend years building that kind of resume. Alex has done it in a single season. And that's exactly why so many analysts have completely changed the way they talk about her. Not long ago, conversations began with words like potential. Now they begin with words like contender. That's a massive difference. Potential belongs to the future. Contenders belong to the present. The numbers support it. The performances support it. Even the WTA itself has already acknowledged it by placing Alex alongside some of the biggest names in women's tennis when promoting the Washington event. That kind of recognition isn't handed out because of one lucky tournament. It's earned through consistent results. But perhaps the strongest endorsement comes from something less obvious. People who have spent decades around elite tennis are no longer asking whether Alex belongs. They're asking how far she can go. That's an entirely different conversation. Because once respected voices inside the sport begin treating a young player like a genuine threat, opponents start preparing differently. Scouting reports become more detailed. Strategies become more specific. Every opponent steps onto the court expecting a battle. That respect isn't given freely. It's earned. And Alex has earned every bit of it. Now Washington offers another chance to prove that Wimbledon wasn't the peak. It was only another step upward. A strong run here could lift her back toward the top 30 before the US Open even begins. It would also send a powerful message to every player in the draw. The breakthrough isn't over. It's accelerating. And if the bracket eventually delivers the rematch everyone is watching, Alex won't walk onto that court trying to erase a painful memory. She'll walk onto it carrying months of growth, new confidence, and the belief that this time, the ending can be completely different.